Good morning, sunny St. John's. Here we are.
Guys, it is Tuesday, the most meh day of the week. So obviously we're here to upgrade that for you.
Yeah, but we want to know where all the Sunnies are out there. So if you're watching, because we know we have a huge audience outside of St. Johns County, we want to know where you are, Boo. So please put where you're watching in the comments right now. While you're doing that, Meredith is going to talk to us a little bit about the lab.
All right, powered by the Lab St. Augustine, where innovation meets imagination, it is a full-service digital studio turning ideas into impact right here in the heart of downtown. Light, sound, magic, and magic.
I like it. It'll work for me.
Words are hard Tuesdays.
Listen, I'm not even going to tell you about my lack of sleep, guys.
Lord have mercy. Here
Light,
we go.
sound, magic, and your next big thing all under one roof.
Disney.
It's the lab where your story starts. Hey, Boos, don't forget to text the word S-U-N-N-Y, Sunny, just like Sunny Mulford we're going to talk to later, to 904-227-4422.
All right, guys, you can follow us on socials on Instagram, sunny.johns, Facebook, Sunny St. John's,
Beautiful.
and Titty Talk, sunny.saint.johns.
Awesome. Hey.
Oh, guys, we have some breaking news for you right now.
We have an unexpected visitor in downtown St. Augustine going on right now. It was a giant bear?
Yeah, they have a black bear that has been, I guess, running around downtown, ran through the church courtyard, ran through...
Yeah, through the
square.
Right by Trinity.
Yeah.
We heard from our volunteer correspondent, Peppermint Patty, on the scene. It was the church courtyard and took off through the plaza. It's currently down by the old Bayview Healthcare, by the River House right now. They are going to tranquilize it peacefully and obviously get it. That's nice because we didn't want to euthanize it. That's
No.
That's not the way. Yeah.
They're going to be relocating it. He didn't know that it was moving day, but
God bless.
His picnic basket is getting packed and he will be relocated safely. I'm assuming, this is an assumption because I'm not obviously on the scene as I am here in studio.
Many blessings.
But I'm assuming Florida Wildlife is on scene or coming on scene. That's what they're probably waiting for the tranquilizer gun.
Right. And we also got an update from the CPS families that there obviously is a bear downtown. With heavy police presence, they will have normal drop-off as long as it's safe. So please have your children go straight inside the cafeteria. So any CPS parents out there, just trying to shout that out. Get the kids inside.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be hanging around outside with Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, right. Only you can prevent forest fires, right?
Yeah. We don't need a lesson prior to school. Get your butts inside.
I love
All
it.
right. So good morning, lovers of local drama and dogs that deserve their own Oscars.
First up, we've got a lot to talk about. Is St. Augustine's Jimenez Facio House is serving Menorcan heritage realness. Think less textbook snooze and more fashion, family, and Francisco Pellicer sleigh. Tours run on May 17th. Go, be cultured, brag about it later, boo.
That's right. Meanwhile, at the Pena Peck House, they are hosting a jazz brunch and history talks. Sip mimosas, learn stuff, feel superior to everybody else like Davey on a Tuesday.
I love it.
All for a good cause.
Speaking of good causes, grab your eco-chic gloves for May 10th beach cleanup. It's like Baywatch, but more algae and less The Rock. And speaking of causes, today we have our great friends from Epicure. We have Sunny and Wendy coming into the studio. We're going to give a great chat. We're going to get them up and out for Giving Day. That's happening tomorrow.
Also, the city that ghosted 87K in a sculpture project.
Oh, yeah. This is a moment.
This is a big story.
Yep.
We bought nothing for 87K, which is iconic.
Awesome.
In good news, Canines for Warriors is expanding. More dogs, more heroes, fewer tears. Just kidding. We're already crying.
I love a good canine story. In celebrity shade, we've got Jodie Sweetin and Candace Cameron. Blech.
Yeah.
They're on a smile and wave terms. #blessed.
And Smoke Show, David Beckham turned 50 with a Spice Girls reunion that outsparked the sun, but there's a little in brew in the story that we'll get to later.
That is true. And then finally, we will have Buford, the heroic dog, who stayed by a lost boy's side for hours. Honestly, that's more loyalty than I've ever shown anything other than my own personal dogs.
Yeah, that is true. Hey, we've got to stick with the folks where the tea is hot, the dogs are heroes, and the sculptures, they're optional.
Ugh, could you imagine $87,000? I can't even.
I could.
Nature turned into a full-blown soap opera in Nocatee this week, starring a distressed raccoon, neighborhood sleuths, and enough Facebook drama to fuel a CSI Suburbia episode.
Oh, my goodness. The Bailey Group. They're ready for anything, too. They're an NFP company. Life is full of unexpected moments. The Bailey Group is here to guide you every step of the way. Under the leadership of my buddy, President Mark Bailey, they've grown from a local agency to a nationally recognized firm, offering tailored solutions for individuals, families, and businesses, with the focus of an individual health and life insurance. Look, I'm going to tell you, Mayor, the Bailey Group is the place to be. If you have any questions, they're amazing.
All right, guys, let's get into deals that steal, prices unreal. Sunnies, let's find treasures our wallets can't feel. Okay, guys, if you are Aldi's shoppers, this is your week. April 30th through May 7th are when these sales are on. If you are into gardening right now, which some of you weirdos are, they've got some great hydrangea. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
hydrangea plants.
That's fun.
Which are super, super pretty. They've got Bellevue plant holders and stands on sale.
Luxury.
The trellises. I love a good trellis with a bogue.
You do?
A little bougainvillea.
Okay.
You can get pastel or gold. They also have a self-watering herb planter.
Oh, for those with the green or black thumb.
Yeah, I would need that because I've killed even all of the succulents that I own.
No way.
Everything. It doesn't need an ounce of care or attention. I will murder it. If you're looking for some apparel at Aldi's, which why wouldn't you? Ladies' Disney tops are on sale. And you can pair them with a delightful set of Disney earrings. Your choice, $4.99.
No. They don't have food on sale, but they have Disney apparel, guys. Get that for Magic Kingdom, ladies. But Meredith.
So random.
Wait, but Meredith.
I just peed.
Can you... But Meredith, do they have it for the whole family? Like, do they have the kids version
No,
on
it's
sale?
only the ladies are on sale today.
For Mother's Day. Sorry, Disney fans.
Oh my God! And what's that bear doing? How about we get to the bear? What the raccoon? What? Oh my God!
We've got food and beverage coming up here. Triple chocolate muesli for $3.49.
Yikes.
Bistro loaded potato soup $4.99. And what's going on with the British style cod? $5.49.
Pairs nicely with the ladies' Disney tea. Okay, guys. Guys, do you want to know where your kids eat free?
Tighten up.
Please.
Well, we've got free meals, big deals, Sunnies. Here's where those tiny little hands can get the biggest deals. You're going to head on out to Hurricanes 210. Kids eat free with the purchase of an adult entree. Miller's Ale House out in Mandarin, though, so that you're going to have to take a hike out there. Kids eat free with the purchase of a $10 food item. Moe's Southwest Grill. Welcome to Moe's.
Yeah.
Kids eat free at most locations.
homewrecker.
Gators Dockside. As well, kids eat free. And Main Event, kids 12 and under eat free with purchase of an $11.99 or more item. Denny's.
Oh, takes a long time.
Go get that Grand Slam from 4 to 10. Kids eat free with a purchase of, but that's only 2.
Okay.
You have a third kid.
They can't eat
in
the car.
And
They wait.
don't leave them in the car either. This isn't 1983.
Crack the windows.
No, this is not 1983. You will be arrested for that. Pollo Tropical.
Oh, hey.
Wait.
Hey, the Polo. You can go. Kids eat free, 12 and under. These are Jacksonville locations. So I was giving anybody the option if you're up north.
Yeah.
So nice.
Because sometimes you're running errands. The kids have sports.
True.
So you can go to the Polo Tropical.
All right, we're going to move into the local music report. Strum it, drum it, hum it down. Oh, Lord, Sunnies, here's the music to make you super proud on this Tuesday, May 6th. At 12 o'clock, we got JC Hatfield Duo at the Milltop Tavern. 1 o'clock, Joshua Tennessee Worthy at Pierre's Pub. 4:30, John Q at the Milltop Tavern. And 6:30, we got swing dancing at Arnold's Lounge.
Wow.
Do-si-do, boo. 7:30, we've got Lisa Lockhart and friends at the Romanza Festival.
Yeah, nice.
Very cool. But first up, we've got some extraordinary guests that we want to welcome them to our beautiful studio. We're thrilled to welcome Sunny and Wendy from Epic Cure.
Yes.
How are you guys doing today? Awesome. Good. So, Sunny, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about Epicure. Give us the rundown. What is this organization all about?
Well, back in 2018, we watched a documentary, Wasted, the Story of Food Waste, where we learned that between 30 and 40% of all the food that's produced in the United States ends up in a landfill, all while 1 in 6 people don't have enough food to eat.
Right.
So we formed a nonprofit, and we started rescuing food from grocery stores, farms, wholesale stores, distributors, trucking companies, and then we provide that food for free to people in need.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, so and it's not just families that you're feeding; you're helping other agencies too. So, what are you doing collaboratively outside in the community?
Yeah, well, so, we started back in 2019, and we've grown so significantly. So in our first year, we did about 300,000 pounds. The next year, we did 3 million pounds.
Oh, my
The year after
gosh.
that, we went 4, 5, 6 million. Last year, we did 10 million pounds.
Wow.
And so because we have been rescuing so much more food, it only takes us about, and we're rescuing right now about 1 million pounds a month. But it only takes us about 600,000 pounds to serve the people that we serve directly.
Oh, wow.
So we share the rest with other agencies. So we share food right now with agencies, soup kitchens, food pantries, other nonprofits in about 8 counties. But just here locally in St. Johns County, and I wrote the list because it's a lot, so I can't remember now. But we support every week AMVETS, VFW, Hope for Heroes, Home for Heroes, Port in the Storm,
Port in the Storm.
SAYS, Sea Community, Southwoods Elementary, Women's Refuge, St. Vincent's, American Legion, and Home Again St. John's.
That's amazing. So, Wendy, talk about watching the growth of the organization over the years. How has it changed?
Yeah, so it's definitely evolved. As Sunny has said, we've grown tremendously. I remember at that very first distribution, there was about 3 people there, and we weren't sure if we were going to have enough food to feed the families that were coming, but it worked out, and we've grown. And now we have about 330 to 350 volunteers every week.
Wow.
To do the work that we do. And we've expanded. We kind of started out initially as a food pantry, which is a food pantry is where individuals go to a location to get food. And we've evolved into also being a food bank where we warehouse the food. We originally just had a warehouse in St. Augustine, and now we have one in Putnam County to serve that community and its surrounding communities as well. And always looking to expand. The growth has been tremendous. And we're getting ready to celebrate our 6-year anniversary next month.
That's fantastic.
So tell us about Giving Day,
Yeah.
May 7th and 8th. This is the big thing that's coming up where people can help right now.
Yes.
So what do they need to do right now at this moment in time to help support you guys to get this food out to families?
Yeah, so our Giving Day campaign right now is we're trying to get more recurring monthly donors because we, as a 100% volunteer organization, all of our costs are, warehouse rent, trucks, fuel, insurance. It's just hard costs.
Right.
And so, and it's really hard to get grants to cover operations. So we're focusing on trying to get recurring donors to help support those operations because, if we can't fuel our trucks, we can't go get the food. So Giving Day is this amazing opportunity that is put on by the
Endless Summer?
Endless Summer Realty, yes.
Yep.
I was thinking summer, but anyway, Endless Summer Realty, and it's just a wonderful thing because most people think about charitable giving in November and December,
Right.
and then 50 or 80%. I can't remember what the it is, but most of it happens in that month. So the rest of the year, people don't think about it. So by them, sponsoring this event, it just raises awareness that. Nonprofits need help year-round, and so it's just this wonderful opportunity for us to say, okay, listen, this is the day you can give. So it begins at noon tomorrow and goes until 11:59 on Thursday, and they have all kinds of prizes. So if people donate you have to go to their website, which is St. Augustine Giving Day 2025. And they have all kinds of prizes for nonprofits. I think it's $25,000 in prizes that nonprofits can win by having the most unique donors or, the first donor or the last donor. And so there's
Or
all
like
kinds of
odd
prizes.
times during the day, like if somebody, there's like games that they can play all day and there's matching elements, which is amazing.
Yeah. And so you can look at they have the section on their website where that shows the prizes that nonprofits can win. So we're really hoping everybody comes out and supports us. And, if they do, we promise to put 100% of that towards helping families in need in our community, which is, the need is growing significantly due to inflation.
Well, real quick, I mean, I know that it's also like giving food is obviously a really big part of this organization. But what I love is how cathartic Epicure is, because you look at the whole picture, the whole holistic picture of food, even like food that's going to be wasted going for compost and things like that. Can you just highlight a little bit about like the whole journey of food within the organization?
Yeah, so we're a zero food waste organization, but we're a food rescue organization. So, you know, when you rescue food, not all of it's going to be good to give to people. So we actually physically inspect and hand sort everything that comes into our warehouse. And so we pull out the things that are not good for people, and then we give that to feed animals. And so yeah, we support.
Isn't that awesome?
Do you guys work with the Capybara Cafe? Because they were looking for some kale.
Yeah, we can connect you guys. That'd be amazing. Good call,
We just
Mary.
talked with them, and they're one of them. I guess that you could maybe add to your sanctuary
you
list.
were talking about the bear that was on the loose today. Well, we support that sanctuary that has the bears and the lions and the tigers, and so they
Very
come and
cool.
pick up food from us every week as well.
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah.
That's a big thing, because I was just talking to Davey about this the other day, about how I want to get a composter, because I was like, at the end of the day, when we're, it's like we should be putting this back into the ground, into the earth, using it as soil, or for the soil or whatever, because I hate throwing food out.
Right.
That's every mom. You're gonna eat every bite. I don't want to throw this out.
Well, just to throw a statistic out there, food waste is the largest component of landfills.
I believe it. I
So
absolutely
Wendy,
believe it.
what do you think is the future of Epic, and like what's the greatest need right now? I should ask you that.
I think right now our greatest need is just support from our community. We're always looking for more truck drivers. We need those recurring monthly donations. So log in tomorrow and look for those opportunities. But we want to expand our reach. Our next big goal, we're partnering now with Walmart and Feeding America, and so they really want us to push our reach. Clay County is our next goal to get into there, and to be able to bring food to areas where people are limited in transportation. So they not only are they food insecure, but they lack the transportation to even go get the food. So we try to bring it to them. So that's our mobile food distribution model that we do. But we also want to expand and to encompassing that whole the whole wraparound services that comes with food, is to also start to develop a food as medicine program. And I know we've had talked about this before, Davey, but that's kind of where my heart is. I have a medical background, and my husband too. And food is medicine, and that's really important. And we want to work with some of the healthcare systems. Baptist has kind of joined on with us, and they're starting to volunteer with us. So we're super excited about that partnership, and to work with them to be able to develop programs that people that are in need and suffer from chronic disease, to be able to have access to the food that they need to heal and to be well.
That's amazing.
You can speak about when she worked in the ER here for years, and you can talk about what people, one of the biggest drivers of especially seniors is lack of nutrition.
Absolutely. Well, they come in and they're out of their medications, and so now they're back into having an exacerbation of whatever their medical cause is, because they had to either buy the medicine or they had to buy the food, and they bought the food, and then now they're out of the medication. And so, a lot of people, there's a difference between hunger and food insecurity. Food insecurity are those that maybe have a job, but they don't have quite enough money to make ends meet at the end of the month. It's our, retired community that lives on Social Security that are struggling to try to figure out, how to spend that last $10 in their bank account before the next check comes. And so, these are the people that we serve, and that's why it's so important. And, it makes a difference, even just with our hospital readmission rates, and just with the overall wellness of our community. I mean, food is the #1 social determinant of health, and so it's super important to us. Yeah.
So where can people go? Where can people support Epicure? What's the good socials to follow?
We are on Facebook.
Okay.
We've been looking for a social media volunteer.
Okay.
So Facebook's the only thing I can manage, and so
I'll put that in comments for everybody.
Yeah. So it's Facebook, and there's a link on our website to our Facebook page. We're very active on that page. Yeah.
I love the videos of the volunteers too, because they're all happy and just ready to dive into the trenches and make this organization go up and up and up, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for coming.
sent a note the other day, and he goes, well, because he was a first-time truck driver, and we sent him up to do some crazy pickups, and he goes, well, that was an adventure. And I said, well, if you like adventure, this is the charity for you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And I love you guys. Thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you for
sharing
having us.
about Epicure. I told you, isn't that going to be a great story?
It's so important because I don't think that it's talked about enough. Food deserts, food insecurities. I love when they talked about that there's also like areas where there is a transportation desert, right? Because people can't get to the food. So a mobile unit that goes out and delivers that food to those communities that need it is amazing.
Yes.
And obviously I'm a big proponent of everything sustainable, and the fact that they're taking food from areas where it would have been taken to the dump, and they're actually making sure that that food gets to people and families that need it, and they're sorting it, and they're making sure that everything is, it's obviously an amazing charity. So it's something definitely to support on Giving Day.
And I see a lot of Sunnies out there in comments right now really supporting the mission of obviously food sustainability. I mean, we've got Sylvia in comments talking about that she puts out a free farm stand when for orchard produces. I think that's amazing. You know, people really jumping into the trenches and really looking at this. And it is definitely something that we need to focus on.
Yeah, I agree.
Something else we need to focus on.
All right, so let's get into it, guys. History nerds and Housewives fans, brace yourself for Coquina and Culture, the Menorcan glow-up that's here in St. Augustine.
Well, we are opening the next story with drama, fashion, and 1700s real estate that would make Zillow weep. Coquina and Culture, boo, the Menorcan glow-up. Step aside to Bridgerton because downtown St. Augustine is serving up 18th century scandal, survival, and serious style at the Jimenez Facio House Museum.
Scandal.
I love it.
Their exhibit about daily rituals of Menorcan stories is on now through May 17th, and it's basically a TikTok history deep dive, but with less dancing and way more coquina.
So you'll get up close with clothing, household items, and wild true stories from Second Spanish period, a.k.a. the era before Central Air and oat milk.
Oh, okay. So those people were not lactose intolerant.
No, a lot of farting, yeah.
Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5. This exhibit highlights the Menorcan families who helped build the city's soul, especially Juana Pellicer.
Yep.
And her carpenter dad, who led 600 people to freedom like a Florida Moses with mad skills.
I love that.
Yeah.
You can book these guided audio tours at the Jimenez Facio House. Go to jimenezfaciohouse.org. History never looked so iconic. This is an incredible team down there. This is not a boring tour. They always remix it. It's always fun.
Yeah. If Juana Pellicer were here today, she'd obviously have her own docu-series and at least one candle collab on Instagram.
Yeah, screaming Lifetime realness.
Yes, I love it.
Yes. Hey, coming up, we're heading to 1750s Coquina Mansion, where the only thing richer than the history is the brunch menu, preservation, pastries, and patio jazz.
Ooh, nothing says saving the past like shopping handmade earrings while sipping a mimosa under an oak tree. So let's get into it, Sunnies. The Peña Peck House is doing the most this May, and we are here for it. Think jazz, historic drama, garden vibes, and a scholarship that slays.
It starts May 8th with 2 free talks during the St. Augustine History Festival. First up at 11 is itinerary storytelling with Constance Fenimore Wolfson. And at 2 p.m., the Sisters of St. Joseph get their spotlight, educating freed slaves back in 1866. This is an iconic moment.
Then on May 18th from 11 to 2, it's time for the jazz brunch in the garden with food from the spot and smooth sounds from the Joshua Bolus Quartet. I hope it's Joshua Bolus.
I'm praying for that one. Yeah.
I don't. Tickets were required, but the vibe is priceless.
And don't miss the Artisan Market on May 25th from noon to 4:30. 12 local makers. They always have the original ones, live jazz, and enough handmade treasures to make your Etsy cart cry, all at 143 St. George Street.
All right. History never looked so good or tasted this buttery. Coquina walls and carbs forever.
I know that's right.
All right, guys. Coming up next, we talk trash and tides because picking up garbage is officially hotter than gossiping about your ex.
Oh, my goodness. At this time, you can clean up the beach and your karma all before sunset. Trash, talk, and tides. The beach cleanup is a glow up. All right, Sunnies, it's time to turn your beach stroll into a glow up for the planet.
That's right. Our Mother's Stewards is throwing a beach cleanup on Friday, May 10th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the St. Augustine Beach Pier Pavilion. BYOB, bring your own bags, not booze.
Oh, man. It's 2 hours of good vibes, ocean views, and cleaning out everything from bottle caps to beach day whoopsies.
Yep. Grab your friends, bring your family, and maybe wear comfortable shoes you don't mind judging other people's litter in. Volunteers info at ourmothersstewards.org. And yes, your IG stories can still count as activism, but you have to actually show up.
So let's make the beach look like a postcard again, not a trashy group chat.
Ooh, all right. So let's get into the weather, guys. Rain or drought, despair is about. Behold the cursed weather report. Today's forecast is a high of 85, or what scientists are calling a light broil. It feels like walking through a wet sock, but with less support and more armpit regret.
Ooh, yikes.
Skies are mostly sunny, which sounds cheerful until you realize sunny is Florida code for hope you like squinting and early's crow's feet. Humidity is at a 72%, meaning your hair has already texted its therapist this morning, and winds are coming in from the east, which means you take a left at Target at around 12 miles an hour. Strong enough to flip your beach towel, not strong enough to fix your attitude. UV index is at a 10. Which is skincare's version of DEFCON 1. Please wear your sunscreen. I can't tell you about this every single day, guys. Get with it. You don't want to regret your life choices.
True.
Our favorite part, the allergy report. Tree pollen, or as people in the comments have said, tree sperm. What is wrong with you people?
I think they're fine.
Are doing laps around your sinuses. Grass pollen has decided to have main character energy today. In short, you're going to be crying, sneezing, probably peeing your pants.
Oh, yeah.
If you decide to open your windows because it's a delightful 67 tonight, you're going to invite in every mosquito. Stay safe, stay shady, and invest in antihistamines, and portable fans.
Wow.
All right, guys, lines are tangled, facts are mangled. It's Meredith's expert fishing report, that is. I'm so sorry. The surf is still coughing up Pompano and Whiting near Crescent and Butler Beach. Best bets are going to be those shrimps and clams. The fish know you're using cheap bait, so please pay attention. Don't let the fish act like your teenager when you try to buy them a dupe. Which, if you don't know, that's Gen Z slang for a duplicate, or basically like, I don't know, the Target version, the Walmart
like
version,
a Temu version or
yeah,
something.
Temu version.
Yeah, cheap.
Yeah, incoming tide is still the golden hour right before the water rushes in and your hopes get swept away with your rig. If you're brave enough to hit the inshore creeks, early morning soft plastics are fooling some trouts, which sounds like a weird porno.
I'd rent that.
Toss a paddle tail. Where are we going? Near the oyster beds, and pretend you know what you're doing. Pro tip, if nothing is biting, just say you're pre-fishing.
Oh, that's so cute.
All right, guys.
Aha!
We have the best coffee spot for you, like sunshine flavor, and it is amazing.
And a big reminder that even in the chaos of life, there's beauty in the ritual. From bean to brew, it's all about heritage, hospitality, and heart.
That's right. Named after the passion fruit, maracuya, it's not just a name, it's a feeling. It's a rare, radiant flavor with ingredients so unique, it's like they're conjuring unicorn magic in every pour.
That's my word. Seriously, they don't just make coffee, they craft it. Each cup is like a tiny, steamy little masterpiece.
Or iced masterpiece.
God bless your
mind. I love their
Yes.
honey cold brew.
So good.
Maracuya is culture, a slow sip of sunshine, a bold hello to your day, and we are fueled by them in the studio and loving every second of it.
Yeah, they're located at 260 West King Street. If you're visiting in town or you're here as a local, visit maracuyabylama.com to taste what's brewing.
All right, Davey, what do we have today?
Ooh, so if you've ever bumped into an ex-friend at Target and had to pretend like everything was fine while holding your frozen peas, this story is for you, boo.
That's right. It's called Full House Half Energy, and today we're diving into Jodie Sweeten's politely frosty updates on where she stands with Candace Cameron blah, as I like to call her.
Yeah, definitely. Spoiler, they've seen each other since the big fallout, but let's just say it's giving many blessings and not let's grab brunch anytime soon.
Yeah, this is an emotional equivalent of hugging somebody with a purse in between you. So let's unpack the nostalgia, the non-drama and that uncomfortable kind of grace.
So Jody recently discussed on her current relationship, or lack thereof, with former Full House co-star Candace Cameron Bure. Their relationship hit a very public speed bump in 2022, if you can remember, over Bure's comments about promoting traditional marriage in their network projects.
Yeah, so in response, Bure unfollows Sweeten on social media, which is a Gen X term for this relationship's gone nuclear.
Yeah, it's not good.
But it has to be so weird because if you think back, like we're the same age. I'm assuming you watched Full House.
Yes.
It was the show you turned on, like you watched prime time. Obviously, we had commercial breaks back in the day.
Right.
Kids, that's a real thing. I know you guys see the commercials on the apps.
Yeah.
But we had to time our snacks, our pee breaks, everything around those commercials because you weren't going to see the show otherwise.
There was no rewind.
There was no pause.
Right.
So they had such a tight relationship. And they filmed for years. I mean, they grew up as child stars together. So this had to be a really big break in terms of like a close relationship.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All the child stars go through as far as like drug addiction and things like that. And
No, I
Candace
don't think
Cameron
so.
Didn't she have anorexia?
There was definitely
Something,
some sort of
yeah.
I definitely remember some sort of turbulence there
Yeah,
on
but
like
all
the
the-
mental health.
And then
yeah.
Candace came out with she only supports traditional marriage, so that's how this whole thing like spiraled.
Well, yeah, I
You
mean,
know, it's
Jody. I think
crazy.
Jody Sweeten was very public about her struggles
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
drugs
Absolutely.
and alcohol.
Maybe that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, I've actually interviewed her once on the podcast.
No.
I met
How
her.
was she?
Yeah,
girl?
wonderful.
Yeah?
Really?
Wonderful. She's just like, if you follow her podcast or listen, she's great. I thoroughly enjoyed her.
I'm glad you connected with her.
Yeah,
That's
she's
amazing.
she's very, very nice. And she's obviously connected with Tiffany because they're both ex-addicts.
Yeah.
So it was a really great conversation. This was years ago. I think this was pandemic.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Because we both realized she was following our profiles, which you freak out when you see like a super famous person follow your profile.
I know, that's awesome.
So it was like, oh my gosh, should we message her back? And Tiffany was like, you do it. And I was like, you do it. And
Oh, they
so
were fangirling. I love it.
It was
love
super
that.
cool. It was super, super cool. So it was a wonderful interview. But
Well, between these two beauties, the fans online remain divided, some
Mm-hmm.
siding with Sweeten's advocacy and others praising Bure's brand of faith-driven content. So once again, we are divided with the moral of these stories.
yeah, so I guess you can pick which team you're on. But, you know, the moral of the story is sometimes we've seen each other is code for we didn't cause a scene in public,
Yeah,
which I guess is growth.
right. True, I guess. May we all face our awkward run-ins with Sweeten-level poise and Bure-level curated smiles.
She does know how to curate a
Interesting.
smile. That is, that's what I'll say.
Well, one place you can go to curate a smile is About Face. Are your cheeks drier than a Florida lawn in July? Yeah, boo. It's time, sugar. Call in the Glow Squad at About Face Aesthetics, the skin queens on the beauty scene who make Botox, fillers, lasers, and peels look less overdone and more like, wow, boo, she just got back from vacation. She just woke up like this, honey. These beauty pros don't do pressure. They do head-turning, confidence-boosting. Who is she with a side of sass and serving main character energy? If you want a fresh season arc, summer is coming. The Glam Squad is on standby. You know what to do. Glow up at aboutface.guru and strut your prime time era. You know, they do tattoo makeup there. It's a
Oh.
very rare thing to find, especially locally here in town. I want to say they're one of the only ones that do that. So yeah, check them out at aboutface.guru.
Okay.
All right, Sunnies, let's raise your glass and your skincare budget, obviously, to David Beckham, who just hit the big 5-0.
My boyfriend.
I love him and celebrated like aging was a sport he also dominates.
Yeah, we're calling it golden goals and spice throws because this wasn't just a birthday party. It was the Met Gala, a Spice Girls reunion, and a midlife crisis wrapped in designer tuxes.
The guest list, well, it was all royalty. The outfits tailored, the vibe impeccable. David Beckham proved once again that he can curve a ball and a party guest list.
So let's get into the who, the what, and the wait. Was that Tom Cruise next to Mel B?
Oh, no, I don't like Tom Cruise.
Well,
Ugh.
I mean, he's still around, so let's give him
He's got
grace.
another movie
Yes,
coming
it's the
out.
last
how old is he? He's like
one.
90. Like, come on, Tom Cruise.
He still,
Like,
he still looks 5.
He's
though,
doing
yeah.
another Mission Impossible, I think,
last
right?
one.
It's the last one?
The last
Okay.
one. So the guests included Tom Cruise, Eva Longoria, your boy, Gordon Ramsay, and the Spice Queens, the Spice Girls. But yeah, there was a little bit of family drama going on, right?
Yes. So apparently,
What happened?
Allegedly.
apparently the Beckham family celebration of David's birthday started with a private dinner at their Costworld's estate. If your home ends with the word estate,
I like it.
I mean, you be fancy.
I know,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
The birthday celebrations were held at the Core Michelin-starred restaurant in London, but there were one of his sons was not in attendance at his party.
Yeah, why?
So apparently,
this girl.
Brooklyn, his son Brooklyn, which I think is the oldest, right?
Yes.
Yes. Was reportedly not there due to tensions with his brother Romeo, who is now dating his ex-girlfriend Kim Turnbull. You heard that right.
Okay.
So Romeo, the younger brother, is now dating Brooklyn's ex, and Brooklyn is with a new woman. And Nicola, and
Yeah.
he didn't want to. I guess they didn't want to come to the party.
Does that sound like they didn't squash the breakup? It sounds like there's still some emotion there.
I don't know what's going on.
I think
it
there's
would.
something there because you don't just not go
To like Dad's 50th.
Yeah, just because like
Like he turns 50 once. Like,
how
what are you
many times?
doing?
Okay, Sunnies,
also
put it in
turned
the comments.
49
How many
months.
times have you had to go somewhere that you didn't want to go because someone else was there, but you just show up because it's the right thing to do?
Well, obviously, we learned from the last story that's the right thing to do.
Always.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is Dad's
disaster.
big moment. And what's your take on this? Like, how would it be if your boys had this situation?
I mean, I would really hope that nobody would miss a 50th birthday. This is definitely a milestone situation. It's a big family affair. It's a very public event as well, so you know people are going to be talking about it. When somebody doesn't show up, I don't care if it's the family newsletter and there's a picture and they're like, "Who?" The first thing that all those relatives are going to go, "Who's missing?" Somebody, oh, so and so's missing.
Right, Brooklyn.
You heard that's because the cousin's best friend's sister's ex fiance is
Right.
diddling so and so. So you
Yeah.
know it's going to end up in the news.
But you know what? The son should. Here's how I feel. Could be unpopular opinion, but the son should have still gone. Don't bring the girl.
That's it.
Take
I
it
mean,
out
they're
of the
not
equation,
married,
no?
so I mean, like, not even if they were married.
But you're assuming that it was the girlfriend's problem.
Oh.
well,
It could have been the
yeah.
brother. It could have been
You
brother
are-
on
yeah.
brother or brother versus brother.
Well,
Brother
the
on
story
brother.
gets a little thicker because Fashion Week just ended, and Brooklyn didn't go to his mom's famous fashion show, Victoria Beckham's fashion show.
Well, it goes to show you, no matter how much money you have, you're still going to have a dysfunctional family,
I
even
think
if you live on the estate.
And if
Yeah.
you're super pretty too, and you go to Notting Hill,
I think he's being a spoiled brat. I hate this story. I want him to grow up
So you're Team David, not Team Brooklyn.
every day of my life. honey.
Okay. Honestly, if my
boyfriend.
50th isn't half this iconic, lie to me and tell me Victoria Beckham showed up.
Oh my gosh.
We got you,
David
Meredith,
Beckham still
don't worry.
scoring at 50 in goals and in guest lists.
All right, guys, it's time for the Gen Z report. Slay or nay, here's what Gen Zs have to say because we're trying to keep up. Today's word of the day is bet.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
meaning,
this, yeah.
Okay, sure, got it. Also used to say challenge accepted.
Yeah, bet.
Okay, so go clean your room. Bet. Bet you won't do it is what. Bet you're not going to clean up your room.
Bet.
So my daughter, love her so much. # blessed. But my 16-year-old daughter, every day I'm like, clean up your room. She has, I don't know if this is a teenager thing or if this is like specific to her or whatever, but she has piles. It's just piles of clothing, piles all over the floor. I don't know if this is a teenage girl thing, but I'm like, what is with all the piles?
One pile is gently worn. We still probably can get another wear out of it so she doesn't make mom do too much of the laundry, right? She's probably thinking of you.
No.
Right, Davey.
yeah, I'm gonna,
Sophia, I'm trying.
So I said to her, what's the deal with the piles? And she's like, well, these are items I tried on, but I decided I wasn't going to wear.
I have that pile.
These are not dirty
I have
enough.
that ottoman.
True.
And these I'm thinking about donating.
Yep.
And this pile right here, this is dirty. You can take that,
You can take that.
but don't touch the. And I was like, no, this is not a system. If it's clean, hang it up. If you're going to donate it, give it to me. I'll take it to Goodwill. If you've tried it on and you're not wearing it today, put it back in the closet.
Wow.
Well, but to be fair, when I say I'm gonna donate things, I usually, and I'm sure, I don't know if everybody does this, I put it in a bag and it lives in my trunk and I drive around with it for almost a month.
Right now, in our parking lot, huge lawn and leaf bag in the back of my car. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not the only one. I don't feel so
In fact, I got a couple
outed.
Travada shirts for Brian. I'm going to give them to him. 'Cause I mean, you know when you have like something you donate, it's like, it was at that price point. Like I'd rather it live with friends.
So you know Plato's Closet?
Yes.
Okay, so I was cleaning out my closet, and Sophia was like, I want to go to Plato's Closet. And I was like, okay, good. I'll take my bag of stuff that I was going to donate. Maybe you can get a couple of bucks back on it that you can use to purchase at Plato's Closet.
Okay.
So I go in, she dumps the bag out, she looks through everything, she puts it back in the bag, and she hands it back to me. And I was like, I'm confused. And she's like, we don't want any of your things.
What?
Oh,
Oh my God, that's so mean.
all of those beautiful cardigans. They want any of them?
And they were like, it's not really our vibe. And she slides it back.
man.
And I was like,
Girl, bye. Oh my
so
goodness.
I was like, well, and Sophia was like, I told you, Mom, they're not going to want your stuff. And I was like, wow.
Meredith.
If that wasn't a slap in the face.
Kinda.
So, yeah. So let's get into the Farmer's Almanac, people. Moons
right.
in bloom, tides in tune. Sunnies, here's your daily dose of the Farmer's Platoon. Right now, it is an opportune time to harvest above ground crops and pick your fruit. So grab a basket and pretend you're in a pastoral painting. And don't forget to schedule a dental appointment because the stars apparently have aligned for optimal dental hygiene, which makes no sense. I don't understand that at all. Advice of the day, a good mess of dandelion is in order right now because nothing says culinary adventure like sauteed weeds. So go to your local grocer and ask for the dandelion.
Good luck on that.
Maybe I don't know where you're finding dandelion. Home hint to prevent moss from forming on your roof, guys. This is an easy one. You just mix 2 capfuls of household bleach with a gallon of water and you apply it to the shingles with a sponge.
If I see you on a roof, I'm calling the police.
So here's the thing. I am known for a good rage clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is next level if you see me on the roof sponge cleaning my shingles.
Yeah, something happened there.
Please, if I do that,
Get down
please
right now, Meredith.
call the authorities. All right, word of the day is Benny. It is an East Indian annual erect herb, which is how I like my herbs. I like them erect.
Send me 2.
Okay. It is a source of sesame seed or Benny seed. So that's where we get sesame seed oil from.
Oh, it's
so open sesame.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I don't know.
That's erect.
All right, give me a pun of the day.
Pun of the day. What do you call a fly without wings? A walk.
No. And we're moving on to notable birthdays on that note.
Notable birthdays. We got Sigmund Freud today from 1856. Happy birthday, Poppy. We've got Orson Welles, 1915, an actor, director who gave us Citizen Kane and Fear of Radio Broadcast. Remember those days?
Yeah.
No. Willie Mays Hayes, baseball legend, known for catching fly balls and breaking records. Bob Seger, musician. We all know who that is. Hollywood Nights. Love it. George Clooney, actor, director, and reason coffee commercials are pretty hot.
Yeah.
Notable deaths. We've got Otis Blackwell. Bye, boo. He was the songwriter who gave Elvis some of the biggest hits. Hound Dog. Lillian Asplund, last American survivor of the Titanic. I thought she
Yes.
threw the necklace in the water.
No, that's not. No, people survived the Titanic.
Yeah, I was interested in do you remember at the end when Jack and on the door and she was like she couldn't move over?
You do realize I hate that movie,
Yeah.
right?
My favorite
My
meme
least favorite, that and Forrest Gump.
is where the door is there, but they put cats on it instead. And the cat is like this with its paw.
Totally.
And it's like, no.
Totally.
No. Because you watch it the first time and you cry uncontrollably.
Right,
and then the
right.
more times you've seen it, you're like, why couldn't that bitch just move over an inch? Like you couldn't spare a square?
Nope.
You couldn't
No.
you couldn't get over just a little eensy weensy bit.
Well, I'm going to tell you where Cats will invite you to come on, which is Old Town Trolley. All aboard for fun, facts, and some serious scenic views. It's time to ride the green train. It's Old Town Trolley. This isn't just a ride. It's a full-on transformation, boo. One loop, and you're suddenly the person that's pointing out landmarks, laughing at history jokes, and knowing where the best local eats are going to be. With expert guides, unlimited hop-on and hop-off access and stops, such as the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth. And this is the best way to explore the nation's oldest city without breaking a sweat or or a parking rule. So grab your seat, grab your camera, and maybe some sweet treats because Old Town Trolley's always ready to roll. Go to hometownpass.com and get yours today. Old Town Trolley Tours of St. Augustine, where every ride comes with a story, a smile, and a glass of sunshine.
Yeah, we saw the trolley buzzing around town yesterday.
So fun.
Yeah, it was full. Jam-packed.
Jam-packed.
Could not spare a square.
Yep.
All right.
Nope.
Cue the tissues and your inner... No, I'm not saying it today. I'm not saying it. Cue the tissues and your inner love of pets because this next story is full of heart, full of fur, and a zero emotional stability.
Oh my God, it's called Buford the Goodest Boy because when a 6-year-old boy wandered away from home in Arizona, this dog did what most of us can't, which is stay loyal without needing a snack break.
Yeah, so Buford followed him all the way into the wild, stuck by his side the entire time, and was there when rescuers arrived hours later.
If your pet doesn't have this level of loyalty, which they don't, mine don't even know, show us the pictures. Let's dig into this tail-wagging rescue tale.
Yeah, so the story takes place in Tucson, Arizona, where a 6-year-old boy with Down syndrome went missing from his family home. The boy named Hunter wandered off early in the morning, sparking an urgent community-wide search. But guess what?
What?
He wasn't alone. Buford, the family dog, quietly tailed him the entire time, refusing to leave his side.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
What's that movie? Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. The last scene where the older dog has like his paw and he's like, I'm coming, my boy.
Oh, Lord.
Remember,
That's like the real life Homeward Bound Incredible Journey.
You're
He
right.
saved him.
After several hours of searching, the police found the boy lying in a field with Buford curled up next to him like a protective cinnamon roll. Oh my
Hunter was a
gosh.
bit dirty, tired, and barefoot, but he was unharmed thanks to Buford's around-the-clock emotional support.
Wow.
Police say Buford never barked or ran for help. Instead, he stayed loyal, silent, and vigilant. I can't imagine
Oh my God.
a dog. I mean, it's not that I can't. Obviously, Buford is the goodest boy, and he did a great job. I don't know what either of my dogs would do. First of all, Ruth, we have to change the door lock on our house because Ruth can open the door.
She can.
so
Daisy does that with the storm
She
door in her paw.
leaves constantly, and I'm like, bitch, you don't feed yourself. How are you gonna survive?
The
You
lizard.
can't
And
live
then
in the
there's
wild.
Kiki, where she just busts through my fence.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them would follow me to try and save me.
No, mine either. They'd be too distracted with food and.
I think Luna would.
Yeah, maybe.
Daisy? No.
Yeah.
Daisy, no. But Luna, I think, would come find me.
Well, Hunter's mom, Jolene, love it, told reporters she couldn't believe how steady and devoted Buford was through the whole ordeal. He had no leash, no commands, just ride or die attitude. I love this story.
That's his boy. That's his person, though.
Yeah.
So Buford is now getting online praise, local media attention, and hopefully way more treats than his bowl can hold because every kid needs a dog like Buford.
Oh, we have
Love
him here.
that.
Buford's on the couch. Just kidding.
Oh, that'd be great.
Just
if we had
kidding,
Buford.
guys.
Imagine.
Yeah.
We're
I
going to
would
have
totally-
Kiki next week.
I would totally have Buford on the show.
So fun.
So he needs a steak dinner.
Yeah.
Or,
Yes.
or Sunny St. John's riots.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Give that dog a cape and a contract with Pixar.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, guys, don't forget what's coming up. It is Mother's Day right around the corner.
That's right.
It's coming in hot. And if your plan involves last-minute grocery store flowers and a vaguely panicked hug, we do need to talk.
Oh my gosh, this is the moment. The segment's called Mother's Day. Don't phone it in this year, guys. And it's basically a gift guide for those of us who forgot moms are psychic and know when a purchase was panic-induced, right?
That's right. So,
No
from indoor
Amazon this
gardens
year.
that water themselves to candles that smell like peace and emotional stability, which I haven't had for years, this list is here to make you look thoughtful without breaking into a sweat.
So whether your mom's a Zen goddess or a snack hoe, hoarder, excuse me, with a skincare budget bigger than your rent, we've got something just for her.
Oh gosh, Davey.
Here we go. Well, I
all
love
right.
snacks.
I
I do.
Are you a snack hoe?
I am a snack
If so, you can
yes.
call 904. No.
What's that meme where the little kid's like, snack? Yeah, I love
Or
that.
go to Aldi and get some Disney earrings instead of snacks.
Oh Lord.
So what's a really good, let's go off script a little bit. What's something that you look forward to on Mother's Day? This is where you got Instagram famous. What
Yes.
happened here?
Okay, so last year, I'll tell you a great gift that my kids gave me. So if you're looking for inspiration, last year I got a Frameo.
Oh, cool.
Love my Frameo. So a Frameo is just a digital picture frame that you can upload pictures to. But here's the really cool thing about Frameo. If your kids live far away or they're not close to you, they can upload photos, send them to your Frameo so you can see current things that are going on. So like Matthias has sent me pictures from school and it just pops up in my Frameo. And I'm like, oh my
That's
gosh,
such a good mom gift. It'll make them
baby
cry.
bird.
So he can send pictures from like when he's like at
gone.
practice.
So
or...
if you don't live near your kids, they can send them in and you can see the pictures.
Frameo.
It's in the cloud somewhere. I don't know.
Everybody, let's write notes on that.
Yeah, so that was a great one. But this Mother's Day guide gives some really cool things. So they've got puzzles, different teas, farm candles. Oh, Storyworth, that's another good one. That's where, and I've done this for my parents, that's where they get prompts emailed to them and they fill them out and then they put it together in a book and then you get mailed the book so that the kids can learn their story. That's a really good one.
One good spot for locals and does support the show very much is Spice and Tea Exchange. I'm going to tell you, you just go down there, you tell her 3 things about your mother, and she'll put a basket together that is like chef's kiss. It'll save your tuchus the whole time. It's amazing.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
she's
where
awesome.
I'm going.
Go see Spicy down at Spice and Tea.
Spicy.
So this, if you go to this guide, which I guess the link will be in our YouTube, what's it called? Info,
feed,
comment,
yeah.
whatever
comment
feed,
box.
whatever
Yep,
that
got
thing
it.
is. You can see this guide, and it's great things that I booked myself a massage. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not waiting for my kids or my husband to do something. Because I think most husbands are like, why do I have to get my wife something for Mother's Day? She's not my mom. Like, I've heard that one online.
Oh, you have heard that
Yeah.
one.
What?
Oh, honey, you have borne the children.
That's fights.
But
That's
it's like, well,
what?
but aren't you the one that made her a mom?
Yeah.
I was really thinking that you were going to go with I just want to be left alone for Mother's Day.
Oh, well.
Well,
My husband actually, he's literally texting during the show right now. He says, excuse me, I'm a great gift giver. He is a phenomenal gift giver.
Is he?
He has given me mixed tiles, also a great gift for Mother's Day.
Mixed tiles?
Mixed tiles. So they're the photos that get printed.
Great, yeah.
Super shiny,
Yeah.
and they stick to the wall.
Cool.
And I have an entire wall of mixed tiles. He's gotten me the Fray concert
You
tickets.
love that.
I love
You
the
love
Fray.
them, yeah.
He's gotten me amazing like coffee makers, like things you'd want. He did buy me a vacuum once, which was a
But
boo-boo.
you love that too, though, right?
I do, but
Yes.
it's like it's not a gift. I'm using this every day. But he's like, but you use it every day, and I'm like, touche.
yeah, but that is a gift.
I
It
don't
is.
know. I love
Especially if
I
it's a
love
really good one.
vacuum.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm not going to brag either. It was a Dyson.
Sylvia Brown.
See, that's a super suck machine. I love
Yeah.
that.
Sylvia Brown said breakfast Bloody Marys and planting annuals.
Oh, that's
Sylvia
nice.
would. I
Yeah.
love Sylvia, and she does have a green thumb. I've seen pics.
Good. She
Okay.
can come teach me.
Yeah.
So skip the carnations,
Ew.
which are basically the worst flowers.
That's horrible.
If you give your mother carnations
Yeah.
on Mother's Day,
Yeah.
it's basically an FU.
Right.
Why are carnations so bad?
I don't understand either. They're just, and they can be any color. Yeah, I don't know.
And
It's
they're
just,
not. They're not like. Don't get me carnation. That sounds
Yeah.
terrible, but I'm serious. Don't get me carnations.
Yeah, I'd rather
I don't get
a
it.
Piece of driftwood or something.
Drift.
right?
I love a good piece of driftwood.
Right? Isn't that pretty?
I
Yes.
do. I do.
Yeah, moms deserve more than just a card and glitter and passive aggressive poetry. Hey, shots fired.
Isn't
Yeah.
that what you got your mom?
every single time?
little glitter right in the face.
No wonder why the bear's in town.
Yeah. Oh
Jeez.
my God. I thought your mom wasn't coming until next week.
She made an early arrival, apparently.
Oh.
God Lord.
All right. Coming up next, we have drama, mystery, and one possibly undead raccoon.
What?
We're calling this mess the raccoon who lived, then maybe didn't, but also maybe did.
Oh my gosh. Straight from Nocatee Wildlife Group, where next door neighbors become wildlife experts and cryptic photojournalists overnight.
That's right. One raccoon, several posts, wild speculation, and more neighborhood drama than a PTA chat with no snacks.
Was it alive or was it dead? Was it playing dead or was the whole thing a metaphor for HOA politics? Let's unpack the suburban whodunit when we need.
So this is such a weird story. First of all, I didn't understand it when I
Okay.
was reading it.
Yeah, this is a Davy story.
So the original post
Okay.
appeared in a wildlife group.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I'm a part of. Thank
It
you.
was a picture of what they described as a limping, tragic-looking raccoon on a Nocatee trail.
Yes.
And then people started in the chat talking about what they think happened to the raccoon. And then they were talking about maybe how they could rescue the raccoon.
Oh, it probably has rabies. Don't touch.
And then somebody showed up and they're like, he's not here anymore. So they were like, literally, like the
moved.
raccoon had Life 360, right?
Yeah.
They're like, he's here, he's not here, we don't know where he is. But in all seriousness, if you see look, I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
But if you see a raccoon out during the day and it's limping or looks sickly,
Disheveled,
you don't go near that one. He may have the rabies, and apparently rabies are rampant right now in our area.
What the heck is going on? Jeez.
Wildlife, they need a curfew.
Yeah.
Well, it does make you wonder. We've got a bear running around town. We've got rabies-addled coyotes and raccoons.
Right.
We
Up
had
in
the
Atlantic Beach. Yep.
alligator last week.
True. Yeah, in
It's the end
Jacksonville.
of the world as we know it.
Blue collar brawler, definitely.
We had
yeah.
2 alligators last week.
Well, hey, on this story, tension escalated when another neighbor commented that the raccoon had already been euthanized by a private resident, allegedly to end its suffering. The claim was not verified by wildlife officials because no one was actually involved. The raccoon's favorite remains are unconfirmed.
Yeah, so I guess they went back. People started trying to retrace his steps, like an episode of 48 Hours.
Oh, my Lord.
Dateline.
And they couldn't find him. So my guess is maybe he survived and scampered off
To Palaca.
to
Yeah.
Palaca.
We should keep track because he'll probably show up next week downtown St. Augustine with the bear.
True.
Well, if he does,
Riding an alligator.
if he shows up with maybe he's in the picnic basket.
This
Who
is a
knows?
rack conspiracy, apparently.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and now we've got something you didn't expect. Great expectations.
Muy bien.
It's our singing. It's our music video.
It's so important when you're going through a transition like that to communicate what is most important when you're looking for your new space. So for some people, it's the features of the home, but for a lot of people, it's so much more than that. It's the features of the neighbors or the community, or whether it's an HOA or a non-HOA. There's a lot of, moving parts to that type of transition.
All right. And coming up next is St. Augustine spent $87,000 on a sculpture project that doesn't actually exist. Not even a doodle on a napkin, guys.
Well, the city basically pulled the ultimate "it's not you, it's art" breakup. And in today's headline, sculpture, never heard of her, while diving into how St. Augustine managed to fund a phantom installation.
Look, I've ghosted people for less, but $87,000, that sculpture better come back with a romantic montage and a very dramatic apology.
All right, Boo, grab your seats. And artistic angst, we're unpacking all of it right now.
Okay.
This is a moment, and locals are hot and bothered. So this is going to be it was supposed to be, it looked like a Smurf's igloo in the middle of the Peanut, which is right by where the old carousel used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hot mess over there. So they commissioned an artist that is not local. That's what's going to be a bee in my bonnet today, is they commissioned an artist that's from out of town to come in here to our town and create this Smurf den in the middle of this giant roundabout, which how are you going to be looking at a piece of artwork when you're trying to get around a roundabout, right? Am I wrong?
It's
Hello?
not, and here's the thing, the area in town that we're talking about, that's not where they should be putting a piece of art.
True.
It's a very busy intersection or roundabout.
Yeah.
And I have a hard enough time getting through a roundabout because I'm not really sure whose roundabout it's supposed to be. And if I was sitting there looking at a Smurf installation, I would definitely be a distracted driver.
Absolutely. And it literally, guys, it was like a dome. It looked like Swiss cheese, like a dome, and then there was just like a bunch of holes in it. I'm like, how's that resemble our culture?
$87,000?
Well, here's the thing. So the city signed a $150,000 contract in 2023. Nearly half was spent before the project got pulled. So most of the money covered the artist's fee.
Yeah.
So this Orlando artist got paid, but we got nothing in return.
True. Yes.
So
Yeah.
It was a whoopsie, and the mayor apologized and just says just one of those things and moved on from it.
But did he get it? Did we get the money back from the artist?
No, because that was
He already commissioned
I'm
them?
going to speak on behalf of the artist because obviously,
It's not my fault you pulled the plug.
Correct. You made the deal, so that that's a non-refundable deposit, sort of like real estate. When
Yeah,
you get
that's
into
true.
that, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
But-
So
binder thing.
commenters online were like, couldn't you have just planted more trees?
yeah.
And not spent $87,000.
Yeah.
I mean, Sounds like a pretty basic idea. Hey, could you have maybe planted some trees there? Because that would have been way cheaper and given Davey more oxygen to complain about his mother.
I will tell
True
you
story.
that we have so many incredible local artists. Like literally, we have some of the world's best local artists here in St. Augustine.
The murals on our buildings.
Could you imagine what
Why don't we have that-
$150,000 could do for an artist's career
And
locally?
do you understand that
And
local
you
artists
just
probably
completely
killed it?
usurp that and go to somebody else that's out of here that has no affiliation to St. Augustine? That bothers me.
That's why I'm running for mayor, people. I'm not. I'm not
you
doing
can't
that.
because you don't live downtown.
I'm not-
but yeah,
I'm not doing
I mean,
that.
I'm just anyway. So
David's
they need
hot
to
by this.
rethink that on like where art installations are going. And before we cut a check like that, I feel that's a big giant waste of money.
It is a massive waste of taxpayer
Absolutely.
dollars.
Yeah.
So
This is David's version of e-bikes that Meredith has with
Sorry,
e-bikes.
yeah, I do get hot and bothered because some local artists really deserve that commission, and that's a shame that wasn't even considered. So
yeah, that is definitely going to continue to be a sore subject at council meetings. I'm positive of that.
Yeah, always support local artists, you guys. Hey, we got supporting Panache. This isn't just a salon. This is a moment, babe. A full body exhale from head to toe glow up. Their carefully curated team and beauty professionals aren't just trained. They're obsessed with exceeding expectations. The space is elegant. The energy is elite. And the results, let's just say, compliments will be incoming.
And Panache is proud to align with the clean, conscious beauty mission of Aveda, bringing you top-tier product treatments and sustainable glam with a side of high fashion. Get your posh on. That's where I booked my massage. Just
love
saying,
that.
booked my own massage.
You got to get panache.com and get with it, boo.
All right. So make sure to text the word Sunny to 904-227-4422 so you can stay connected to all things Sunny in St. John.
I love it. Sunny St. John's can be found on the Instagram, sunnyst.johns, Sunny St. John's, one word, on Facebook, and the TikTok, sunny.st.johns.
All right. And special thanks to all of our sponsors that made today's show possible. Let's keep it sunny and support local business. STA Lab, Bailey Group, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39, About Face, and Panache.
And don't forget about Great Expectations Realty and Auction, Flashes and Brilliance, and Colleen at the Spice and Tea Exchange, Epic Behavioral Healthcare, and Emma Concerts Associations.
That's right, guys. And don't forget,
It's always sunny in St. John's. Set
See you
your alarm tomorrow. Bye, boos.